Welcome to the Man United stream, hope you're doing well. It is a crazy morning because we've got more transfer news coming. We're hearing from sources, from Man United sources, that United haven't stopped at Leny Yoro. There's more transfers coming in. We're going to be discussing that and lots more in today's show, so make sure you stick around, make sure you hit the like button on this video, and if you're not already a subscriber to the Man United stream, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news from one single daily dose. Now, let's jump straight into today's show. Yesterday was a roller coaster of a day. From hearing that Leny Yoro might be signing for United, that there's negotiations going on, then suddenly we hear that he's on a plane to Manchester, then we hear that he's having a medical, and it didn't sink in. It did not sink in that Man United are on the cusp of signing one of the best centre-backs in the world, young centre-backs in the world. I mean, when you heard Real Madrid were involved in this whole saga, you thought it's all over. There's nowhere else he's going to go. He's going to go to Real Madrid and that's it. United will not be able to get him. Liverpool will not be able to get him. It just happens to be that United just negotiated hard with this guy and his team. They showed him why they wanted him more than Real Madrid, and that's what we're hearing this morning. And this morning we're hearing from sources in Manchester and in France that the reason why Leny Yoro chose United over Real Madrid or any other club was because the way Man United approached his team, the way they approached his family, what they pitched to him, and how they showed him the future of this United team. This is why we were saying yesterday that this is why Ineos brought these people in to United. The likes of Omar Barada, the likes of Jason Wilcox, the likes of Dan Ashworth. This is why you have these people on the table, negotiating table, because they know exactly how to convince players to come to the club. I mean, we've heard that Omar Barada had a large part to play in this. We heard that he was leading the negotiations, trying to get this over the line as well. He had an input to play, so did Dan Ashworth. They worked as a team and they got this guy over the line and they beat Real Madrid to it. In fact, Real Madrid about 3-4 days ago gave up on Leny Yoro because they realised that United had the head start. They realised they were in the lead in the race to get Leny Yoro and they backed off. The other reasons why we're hearing that Real Madrid could not come to the table was because Real Madrid tried to do what they did with Mbappe. Because Leny Yoro had 1 year left on his contract, Real Madrid wanted to convince him to stay on at Lille for another year, see out his contract, and then come over to Real Madrid on a free. That's what it was. And Lille did not want that, and neither did Leny Yoro. He wanted to come to a club that was going to pay Lille whatever they deserved and wanted to come to a club that actually wanted him. And this was it. That was the major thing that convinced Yoro to come to United. A club that wanted him. A club that needed him. A club that he could actually get some game time at. Not going to Real Madrid and sitting on the bench, not knowing if he's going to play or not. I mean, for a young player, you want to play week in, week out. And Leny Yoro, it's very important for him to play week in, week out. And United will guarantee him that. This is an amazing, amazing signing. This whole week has just been a blur. It's been a blur from, De Ligt, from knowing that, look, Branthwaite's not coming because Everton want 70 million plus for this guy. And then, all of a sudden, this guy, the outside shot, the player that we did not think is going to be coming to United, and definitely did not think Ineos will pull off this move. But to have him turn up for a medical yesterday and then get a here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and then it's confirmed that he is the new centre-back signing for United, it is huge. But the news isn't over, guys. The news is not over. We've got some really good news. From our sources at United, we're being told that this is not the last centre-back signing. We're looking at De Ligt as well. Do not rule this out. De Ligt could also be coming in at United. If that happens, this could be one of the best summer transfer markets we've had for a long, long time. In fact, probably the best since the Glazers have been in charge. I mean, this would mean that we get De Ligt, we get Leny Yoro, and we got Martinez in that centre-back positions. I mean, that would be absolutely insane as a starter for our summer transfer window. But we've got some negative news as well. The negative news is that João Neves is very close to signing for PSG. In fact, they're in negotiations right now as we speak and PSG are trying to convince Benfica to let him go for under his valuation that they've put in, the release clause of 120 million euros, and PSG do not want to come to the table with that kind of money. They're trying to convince him to sell João Neves for about 70 to 80 million. Will United come in there again? We're not quite sure. Right now, everything seems very quiet on the João Neves front. We have made our inquiries with United, with our sources about João Neves, but nothing seems to be happening. But do you know what? We can't rule anything out right now. We can't rule Ineos out. Because what we found out with Leny Yoro and what we found out with Zertsky is that Ineos move stealth, they move very fast, and they don't waste any time. They don't have time to just waste around like we had in old United setups where we would take months to even make an offer. They do these things very fast. We've seen it with Zertsky. We've seen it now with Leny Yoro. They're moving on these things quick. They're getting things done. They're getting negotiations done. They know what the player wants. They know what the agent wants. They know what the club wants. And this is not what we've seen in the past 11 years. It is absolutely brilliant news for Man United fans because we're watching this and we're loving it. Every single second of it, we're loving it. So can we rule out João Neves? Absolutely not. Right now, PSG look like they're close to agreeing something with Benfica, but can we rule out United coming in and getting João Neves? No, we can't. Look, João Neves would be brilliant as a player. Yes, we've got Manuel Ugarte has been talked about, but is he as good as João Neves? Absolutely not. João Neves is a future superstar in the making. He's got brilliant record so far. Plays for Benfica, Portuguese, would fit into United team next to Meno perfectly. I mean, that would be another dream signing. And if Ineos can pull that off, that would just be absolutely out of this world. That would be the best summer transfer market in the history of Man United to bring in these players at this stage of Man United where we are struggling. Let's not be beat around the bush. We are not in the Champions League. To attract players like this to come to United is huge. It is huge. I don't know what they're telling these players, but they must be very good at convincing them that United have a good plan going forward. And this is why all these players are willing to join United. Because when United come knocking on your door, you have to sit up and pay attention. This is not like any other club. This is the biggest club in the world. Okay, you're talking about Real Madrid. United can rival them. That's what we're talking about. United is the only club in the world can rival likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona. There's no other club that can do that. There's no other club in England that can do that. You can talk about the Liverpools and Chelseas and Arsenals, but they're not even near United as a club. United is huge, not just in England, but across the globe. And that's why we can go out there and get players like Leny Yoro, even when we're not in the Champions League. Now, we've already confirmed that United are still in negotiations with Bayern Munich over De Ligt. They're not giving up on him. They want De Ligt as well. They've agreed personal terms with De Ligt and his agent, and it's all about agreeing a fee with Bayern Munich. And again, from our sources at United, they're telling us that this is still ongoing. They've not stopped negotiations. There's still a very, very good chance that De Ligt will be signing for United. Absolutely insane. Who else could be signing for Man United? Well, we heard Manuel Ugarte could be coming to United. He's in negotiations currently with United. Will United make that leap for him? Will they buy him from PSG? I think PSG might actually be waiting for him to be sold before they go after João Neves. Some fans I've heard saying, look, we should be going straight for João Neves. Why are we funding PSG buy for João Neves? We should be actually putting that money aside and going off to buy João Neves. But realistically, we don't feel that Ineos will be paying that 120 million euros release clause for João Neves. One thing we have definitely seen with this new team at United that Ineos have brought in is that they don't want to overpay. They don't want to overpay for anybody. They want to get everyone in, and Leny Yoro for 50 something million is an absolute bargain. An absolute bargain, and you'll see why in years to come. It's absolutely brilliant. Zertsky, again, absolute bargain. Now, United are not getting these deals done by throwing huge amounts of money and huge contracts over to the players. Absolutely not. They're actually negotiating. The people that United have got right now in the backroom staff are negotiating and getting the best for United, and this is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, look, this is why you know United are moving in the right direction when we're not offering huge amounts of contracts, salaries, and offering huge valuations for players. We're negotiating, we're bringing in players that are worth something, but we're actually bringing in players that could be worth potentially a lot more for what we're paying them. That's what is the amazing thing about what's going on at United in this summer transfer market. Now, we're hoping that we'll get some further transfer news in the next couple of hours, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we can. So make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You were watching the Man United Stream channel.